Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to Allthingsskyblue Presents, in my opinion with, or IMO with Stuart. I'm Stuart. Hope everyone's well. Good evening. We're obviously, we are live on Facebook, YouTube and X or Twitter. Please like and subscribe if you like what we do. We are available, like I said, on TikTok as well and Instagram. We're partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar. If you've got any questions or anything that you'd like to come on and ask me about Coventry or even about FPL, if you wanted to, please by all means come on and have a listen. Obviously, there are a few games going on. Obviously, we're not playing, but yeah. Obviously, we're not playing. We're not playing until tomorrow. We've got Rotherham. Very excited about tomorrow's game. Pleased that it's come quite quickly and we haven't got to wait until the weekend. So please come on and have a chat with me. Like I said, ask me questions. I can do shout outs for you. So feel free to come on. Be much appreciated. I've had a few people on already. So good evening, gents. I hope you're well. Glenn, good evening, everyone, he says. Brandon, good afternoon, Brandon, or good evening. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're okay, Brandon. Joshua, the first question of the evening. Did you enjoy last night's evening with Mark and Doug? I did. It was very good. I know I think there was a few people that when they listened to the show, that some people thought that it was a little bit cagey, especially Doug. But I didn't feel that. Look, we can't expect them to spit out every plan possible, really. So I think they were open enough for us to let us know as much as they can do, I suppose, really. But no, it was good. They both spoke. I thought they both spoke really, really well. Answered the questions that they were given in the studio by Clive and Rob as well, and Lorna Bailey. So I thought they answered the questions, open and honestly as much as they possibly could. Yes, but I did enjoy last night. It was great to meet him. Obviously, I've never met him before. So it was great to get my picture taken with him as well. Him and Doug, the King and Doug, I suppose. But yeah, it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Good night. It was only an hour, so nice. It went fairly quick. Just like one of my shows, it goes fairly quick once I get into the swing of things. Really pleased with it, mate. Thank you. Brandon's come on and said, what was Mr. Doug's words meaning about he knows the situation in midfield, but he can't justify January? Well, look, we all know that January is probably one of the hardest times to try and buy anybody, at least. They might start talking to people, but I just think it's hard. January has always been a hard. Me personally, I'd rather get rid of it. But we know that. Again, I'm sick and tired of mentioning Hamer. Really, when people ask questions a little bit like this, because it's done and dusted. But when you have lost such an influential midfielder, we know that we need to replace him. And I'm sure that, Robin said that, they tried to do stuff and they just couldn't get everything done. And it's one of them things, I think with the injuries that we've had, with obviously Sheaf's been out, Case is out, Cow's out still. But obviously he looks like he's going to be coming back with what was said by Mark last night as well. And, Alan's been out. If we had all of them available, I think it would have made the Hamer situation and getting that extra midfielder a lot easier. Kelly as well. I just think that with their injuries, it's kind of highlighted what we already knew. It's just look, it's just a bit frustrating, isn't it? That we've had them injuries and we've also, lost him as well. But look, I think it will be rectified. If it's January, I'm not so sure. I think it might be. I think it might be more in the summer. But you never know who becomes available in January for loan from a Premiership club. You just don't know what's going to happen. So I still think that, look, exciting times are still yet to come. I was, on thoroughly behind Mark and Doug, even more after listening to them last night. And in all honesty, I was behind them anyway. But I think for me, they just added a little bit more security that we've got to bear with it, and good things will come. So I think it will. I think we'll be fine. Why didn't Cal play today for the under-21s when Robin said that he would play? To be fair, when I saw the lineup, I was a little bit bemused that he wasn't playing. I heard that he might have picked up a little bit of a knock. Don't know how true that is. I don't know. Excuse me for a second. I heard that he may have picked up a knock. I don't know whether that was Chinese whispers playing about, but I thought he would be in the starting lineup. To be fair, I actually thought the under-21s were playing on Thursday, and then he might be in line to play, or he'd be on the bench for West Brom. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure. But to answer your question, I don't know why he wasn't playing, mate. I thought he was. I thought he would have been as well. Good evening, Glenn. Hope you're well, buddy. Thank you for coming on. What's your key points that you took away from the fans forum last night? Well, as I've just said, to be behind them, the manager and the players, even more so. Obviously he mentioned about Haji Wright and Sakamoto coming from different leagues, different countries, and boxes of clothes and stuff are still coming over for the guys. So it can't be easy. I think we've got to start to take a step back a little bit as fans and think, right, boxes of clothes and house things are coming over still for these guys, and it might have just taken them a little bit longer to get used to England and the way we play the Championship, coming into a new formation, just little things like that. And I think an accumulation of everything is just sort of got away with us fans, I think, especially because of last season and how good last season was. I think we just expect everything to come to us and win every game. And look, we know we're not going to win every game, but we've just got to make sure that we just stay behind the lads, And like I said, that's what I take away from last night, is just making sure that we are behind the lads and behind Robbins, because I feel that both of them are going on the right lines. And yeah, I was really pleased with what they were saying last night. In all honesty, you're under average Cov fan. Thank you for coming on, buddy. Thanks for the question. Will O'Hare be in the squad for tomorrow's game? I still, with what I could get from Mark Robbins last night, I still think it's probably too soon. I think he might be on the bench, and I hope he is on the bench for West Brom. I want to see it as a home game, him coming on, because again, every time I think about it, with seeing O'Hare warming up, I think it would be amazing. And like I said, the hairs on my back of my neck is just standing up, thinking of the ovation that he's going to get when he does come on. It's just going to be formidable, and I think it should be a home game. Personally, I think it should be a home game because I think it's. I think it would be brilliant. Yeah. Hiya, Josh again. I'll bring his question forward. How many points from the next three? Rotherham, West Brom, Preston. Look, I think we've got to get definitely the 3 points from Rotherham tomorrow. West Brom's going to be a difficult game. They're always a tough game. They are a good side. So what's that? That's 4 points if we take a draw at home against a good West Brom side. keep that that unbeaten home form going. And then Preston, again, Preston's a funny one. I still think that we could possibly get a win there. Because they have gone and they started really, really well and they've gone a downward trajectory so far, and I think we might catch them out. But we've got to be on it. If we're not on it, then as I've said before, we can get done over by anybody. But if we're on it, as we've seen for the 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the game the other day against Bristol City, I know we lost obviously, but the 20, 30 minutes that we had, we absolutely bossed the game. And I think if we can play like that and get that more, into 60 minutes, 70 minutes, playing like that consistently that well, there's not going to be many teams that can touch us. And I've said that from word go. I still think, even now, that we're a top 8 side, not a top 10, a top 8 side. And we need to be pushing for that. But we have to be playing. We have to be on it. Because if we're not, we are going to be turned over. So we need to make sure that we're on it. No loose passes at the back, making sure that we're nice and confident in our passing, and we'll be fine. I've got no questions. We're going to be nowhere near relegation. We will be closer by the end of the season. We will be close to the playoffs, if not in it, and I think we'll be fine. But to answer your question, Josh. I'm gonna go for 7 points. I'm gonna go for 7 points. However they come, I will go for the 7 points. Glenn has said, sorry, I might have slightly missed that. Let me scroll down. Glenn, anything surprisingly said last night? Not really. It wasn't surprising what they said. I think it was nice knowing, obviously we all knew about Vic's, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, that's easy. Salon clause. And it was just nice to know that we've got a salon clause for Gus as well. So that was nice. Nothing really surprising come up, but it was nice to know that Gus has got a salon clause as well. Brandon again, was he the guy under the name McCallum though, just to put people off? Right, okay. Well, if anybody went to the game, because it was only at Alan Higgs, if you want to come on, then that's fine. Glenn has come on to answer that and said, thinks that Sam McCallum's relative, possibly. Yeah, maybe. I thought he might be under the name as trialist. But if anybody actually went to the game or knows that he played or not, then let us know if he was under a different name. Good evening, Wes. I hope you're okay, mate. Thank you for the question. Well, not a question, but he's just mentioned something. No Callum till the end of November, in my opinion. Yeah, look, we're coming towards the end of October. I think he'll be on the bench at West Brom. I really do. With what I could gather of, unless he has had a slight setback, I still think he'll be on the bench at West Brom, which would be really, really good. Absolutely positive, and it will get everybody buzzing as soon as you see his name on the squad sheet. He won't be in the. We won't look. I still don't think, even though he might be back, I still don't think we'll see the best of him until January, February, because it's to get them, the muscles in the legs going and playing to that consistent level where he was. Is going to take another couple of months. So you still won't see the best of him, really, I don't think, until the end of January, possibly February. Hoping all goes well. If he comes back sooner, brilliant, fantastic, can't wait. Wes Handley, again, thank you very much. 7 points, draw with Preston and win the other 2. Yeah, well, I've said to draw with West Brom and win the other 2. I think 7 points is a decent amount, and I think it can be done. look, 9 would be absolutely beautiful, wouldn't it, to win the next 3? I think it would definitely quiet some of the fans out there that again are a little bit restless, and possibly so, maybe. But look, again, we just need to make sure that we get behind the lads and sing our hearts out wherever we go. Home, away isn't an issue with singing, because our away fans are absolutely brilliant up and down the country. Wherever we go, we always make noise, which is good. Sometimes the home can be a little bit more quiet or feel a little bit more quiet. But again, we just need to make sure that we get behind the lads and sing our hearts out. Good evening, Reese. Hope you're well, buddy. Thank you for coming on. Would you drop Fads or Kitchen tomorrow night? Would you drop Fads for Kitchen tomorrow night? Probably not. I think I think we know that Fads had a little bit of an off game, but that's not him normally, is it? Let's face it. He is normally our rock. Our leader at the back. So I think it would be wrong just for one game not being quite on it. Everyone's allowed an off day. But yeah, I don't think he will, and I don't think he will. Robbins, said that Fads wants to play each and every game. Each and every game, and doesn't want to come off. So I think it will be a little bit hard and harsh for him to do that. I think Kitchen might possibly play, but we'll have to wait and see. Glenn said, Binks said at the fans forum at the tavern, apparently he's looking to come back to the UK next summer, if possible. Yeah, I think, obviously, a question was asked to Mark about the possibility of signing Binks next season, or if there's any deal from the loan to do it next season. And I think that's what he might have been implying, that they know that he wants to come back home. If he does well here, I think there might be a possibility of coming back. So that's what I'm getting from that, really. And it would be good, It would be. He's a good player. I like him with what I've seen so far. Solid, And I could, again, I've said it before. I would probably be happy to see Latty, Thomas, Binks and Kitchen, and obviously Fads there. But Fads is the mainstay at the moment. He's a brick wall. He's allowed an off day. So again, let's just get behind him and sing our hearts out. Wes, what date did Callum get injured? Was it December? Maybe a return on that day. It was. I think it was Boxing Day. I think, yeah, Wes Handley, it was Boxing Day. Yeah, that's right. No, I think it will be before Boxing Day, even though Boxing Day is a home day. It's a home game, isn't it, Boxing Day? So possibly, I think it'll be earlier than that. Again, I still think he'll be in the squad. Whether he comes on, whether he plays, don't know. But I think he'll be in the squad. Simon Gulliver, good evening, Simon. I hope you're well, buddy. Thank you very much for coming on. Would you start Sakamoto in the same position as Saturday? He was really good for 20, 30 minutes. To answer your question, yes, I would. I was impressed with him. Excuse me again. I was impressed with him, yes. And I would start him in that position. Again, with Sakamoto playing in that number 10, I still think for me, it comes down to who we're playing. If they're a bit of a rough and tumble team, like maybe a Swansea, Stoke, Watford, that sort of game, I don't really think Sakamoto is your man to play the number 10, because when I saw him at Swansea, he did get a little bit bullied. But against your weaker opponents as such, because, look, I'm calling Rotherham a slightly weaker opponent just because they are down there slightly. But they can still turn us over if we don't show up. So we've still got to make sure that we're on it. They're not going to be an absolute rollover. We are going to have to show up. And I still think it might be a close game. But again, just like the Bristol game, I think the first goal will be definitely an important goal. If we score first, it might open the floodgates. I hope it does. But if they score first, it's going to be a tighter game, and they might just sit back and we have to try and break them down again. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be an easy. But against Rotherham, yes, I would. To answer your question, Si, I would start him again in the number 10. I think he played well. I think they linked up well with Godden and Sims. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for your question, Wes. What a day to return. Merry Christmas, Sky Blues. Yeah, definitely, Wes. That would be really, really good. I was so happy with that. But again, I still think it might be sooner. You're under average Cov fan. Does Latty start on Wednesday? I hope so. Anybody that listens to me on here and on the Twitter Spaces will know how much that I think Latty is absolutely brilliant. One of my, up there with the player of the season at the moment. I think he does start. I think the only reason why I don't think he started against Bristol was because he'd just come back from international duty. But he's had a week off from that now. If he doesn't start, I'm not sure what's really going on, if I'm honest. But for me, if Latty's fit, Latty starts. But the only reason, why he didn't start for me is that he just come back from international duty. Sky Blue Sam, good evening. Sky Blue Sam, thank you for coming on. Are you surprised that a big crew hasn't featured in any of the season yet? Any game yet this season? I am slightly. I thought he might have had a cameo in one of the games. Look, again, we've just got to trust Robbins. He knows when to bring players in. Look, we were all screaming for Tavares to come on. In every game we were singing his name, chanting his name. And Robbins wasn't pushed, wasn't swayed by any of that. And then he brings them on it at home against Preston, and he scores a brilliant goal. So Robbins knows when he wants to play these players, and we've just got to trust, that if a big crew comes on, he's ready to come on and start for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 2 minutes. Robbins deems it worthy to be doing that, but. Again, we've just got to make sure that we're getting behind him and getting behind the lads, really. Wes, I'll put your question up here, Wes. When Palmer and O'Hara both, would you play them both behind a single striker? Yes, possibly. We've played with a box midfield before, and I think it depends on who you're going to play as the striker, because we've got to remember we haven't got Vic. So we've got to be careful with who we're actually playing up there. I would probably play with Godden up top rather than Sims and Hadji, just because at the moment he is, again, Mark Robbins mentioned it last night in the fans forum, that is the link to getting the strikers going. So, I think if you're going to play a box midfield at the moment, I think you one striker you play as Godden. But then you're going to have people saying, well, why have you got 15 rather than 7 million of talent? Why have you got the whole 15 on the bench of talent on the bench? You're going to have them questions as well. So you're not going to be able to please everybody. But if we do start with a box midfield, I think Godden is your striker to go to personally. Thank you very much for your question. You're under average Cov fan. How worrying is the situation that we don't win games when we concede first? The last time Blues away 4-2 in April 2022. Yeah, it is a little bit concerning, but again, have you got to put that down to that, the likes of Bristol City and the likes of Swansea and people like that when we go to them, they sit back and they want us to break them down because they know how good we are if we open them up. I think sometimes you might have to take it as a little bit of a compliment when they do go 1-0 up, that they sit back and they say, come on, break us down. Sometimes we can break them down. But I think we have got to take it a little bit of a compliment. It is slightly concerning, but look, I'm sure the boys are trying all they can to make sure that they do try and get that win and that goal. And I remember, I think it was about 2 seasons ago. We went behind so many times and we come back, so we know we can do it. We don't feel that the game is won until that final whistle blows. So we need to make sure that, again, I'll still say it, we get behind the boys, we get behind the lads. Glenn from Sky Blue Hub, are we chomping and changing the side too much? Yeah, probably. I still feel that he doesn't necessarily know his best 11 at the moment, because he is changing the sides quite a bit, especially at the back. I know he's got to give everybody a run out, so to speak, but he's got to make sure that that we know what the best 11 is. And at the moment, I don't think we do. There's a few there's a few people that are nailed on pretty much, but I think majority of the side, we're still not sure. So I think we've got to try and find what the best 11 is. I think Robbins has got to try and do that. But again, with the injuries that we've had, we've got to try and make sure that we're integrating these injured players back in slowly, because we don't want to have a reoccurrence of the injuries, really. So just before I carry on with the questions, I have got something to say. Let me just take my phone off for 1 second. Excuse me for this. So on our home game against West Brom, I'll be interviewing a lad called Lewis Whale, who is the founder of Proud Sky Blues, which is the LGBTQ plus community for the Sky Blues for Coventry City. So I'm going to be introducing and interviewing him live from the Anecdote. So if you want to come in, please come on and coming in and watch us. Watch me interview him, come up and ask questions, and I might even be able to try and get you on as well. Just a few things that he wanted us to make you aware of. So the Proud Sky Blues are the LGBTQ plus supporters group for Coventry City. They believe that football should be for everybody and everybody in the game, and that's what we believe as well at Allthingsskyblue. They're here to promote inclusivity within the sport and ensure football is a safe place for the LGBTQ plus fans, and to be their authentic selves, to be who they are, and make sure that everybody's included. Just to make you aware, in 2022, a Football versus Homophobia survey found that 63% of respondents experienced incidents of abuse and or homophobic or transphobic chanting at games during the 21-22 season. I think we can all agree that, that needs to stop. We need to make sure that we are reporting it if we do hear it, and just, making sure that people are aware that it's not okay to be doing that. Since the launching in August, they've had over 50 members and are looking to continue the growth. Again, Lewis will be there. I'll be interviewing Lewis. Please come up and ask him if you've got any questions about anything, or if you want to join, whether you're part of that group or not. Again, he said here, people are more than welcome to join the group, whether they are LGBTQ plus themselves or an ally. They host match day socials at the Anecdote, obviously this Monday coming up, where fans can come together for a meet and greet before home games. And you can find them on Instagram, X, or Facebook by searching Proud Sky Blues. So that's Lewis Whale, and he's the founder of Proud Sky Blues. So again, if anybody wants to come up and have a chat with him on Monday, please feel free to come up and do so. So that's a good thing to be doing. So please come along and do that. That'd be much appreciated. So let's go back to the comments. Reese, thanks again, Reese. Have a feeling Sims scores tomorrow night as he is showing a few signs of improvement and getting fitter and stronger. Hopefully he starts to hit the ground running very soon. Yeah, I just, look, I feel with Hadji and Sims that, I know they've both scored 2 goals. Hadji's got, 2 more assists. I think it is coming. I think you can see Sims getting more confident. When he ran through and he flicked that ball over the defender's head and he put it through to Godden and Godden hit the bar. I think that sort of thing and that link-up play is starting to come. And I think you're right, and I hope you're right, and he does score tomorrow. He is looking a little bit better. It's just taking Hadji a little bit more time, I feel, to get going. But I'm sure he will. Look, again, as Danny said on the X Space on Sunday, let's judge them after the 38 games, not let's judge them after 8 or 9. So let's get behind them still. Wes, thanks, Wes, again. With Wilson and Collins, are you surprised that Moore wasn't sold? Yeah, I am a little bit, but again, it's got to be right for both parties, hasn't it, really? It's got to make sure that it's right for Moore as well. I think Moore wants a number 1 slot somewhere. So you might find that he goes in January. If not, I think he'll definitely be gone in the summer. But I think he's a good guy to have around. We've seen the unseen footage, of all the boys, really, all the goalkeepers, and they seem like a great bunch. Seem to get on really, really well. And it's and yeah, I think he's a good guy to have around. And look, if something drastic happens with Wilson and Collins, Moore's, he is a good goalkeeper. So it's not the worst to have around, but I understand that he does need to go. Glenn, where's Handy? Not sure they work as a pair. Where's I'm not sure what Glenn's referring to. You might have to come back on and let me know that one. You're under average Cov fan. Is Godden our first choice striker based on Robin's comments last night? Yeah, I think he is. And I think he was, I certainly felt that way anyway, because he is your top goal scorer. He does work harder than both of them at the moment. And, he is the older head, I suppose, as well. He is going into his 30s. So, yeah, I would have said that before last night, but it just, cements really that Godden is the number 1. And they've got. Look, he said about the 5 at the back as well that we've got. The 5 centre halves. They're all fighting for the shirts, and that's what the strikers need to be doing as well. Hadji and Sims both need to be fighting to say, well, actually, we can play together, play us together. And it's for them to push Godden out. So at the moment, yeah, I think Godden's is your number 1 striker. Excuse me. Sky Blue Sam, thank you again. Do we have a plan B? I think with injuries at the moment, no. But I think when we have Alan back, when we have Casey back, when we've got O'Hare back, once we've got Kelly back, maybe, I think you might find that he does tweak it slightly and change it slightly, so we do have a plan B. I think with what I got from the fans forum last night is the fact that we've got injuries in key places that doesn't allow us necessarily to split back into a back 4, because otherwise we're going to be losing the midfield battle and things like that. So I don't think we have at the moment, but I think that's down to the injuries that are possibly happening at the moment. To answer your question. Hi, Glenn, again. How concerned are you by the comments from Robbins about players struggling to settle in Cov? I'm not overly concerned, really. I think, look, when you've played in England before, I think it's easier. Vic did it But Vic still took a little bit of time to get used to it. Hamer did. He come in with a bit more of an aggression issue, if you like. He got sent off very early on in his early days with us, which didn't help him. But he changed that. He turned that around, and so did Vic. And I'm sure these will too. I'm sure they'll settle in. But remember, they're on good contracts. If it doesn't work out and we do have to move them on, then at least we might not get all of it back, but at least we might get a little bit more than we would have done having only been on maybe a 2 or 3 year deal. These are on 4 with maybe an extra year within that as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Glenn, are we all one big sky blue army, irrespective of gender? Oh, sorry. We are all one big sky blue army, irrespective of gender, age, sexuality, and religion. Most definitely, Glenn. Most definitely. PWR. Sorry, I can't. I'm just going to say PWR. Jack Burrows got an assist for Lincoln. He did. I did notice. Again, people that listen to this show and obviously the spaces that we do on a Sunday night. I am a big fan of Jack Burrows as well, and I'm glad that he got an assist and is proving to be playing really, really well. So yeah, really pleased for the lad. And I hope he comes back to us a much better player, because he was good anyway. But I think a loan might have done him the world of good. So yeah, and look, MVE is just a brilliant player. He might have struggled to try and get into the side anyway, but to have Jack Burrows as a great option on the left as well. You know, if Bidwell does go eventually, whether that's January or next summer, Burrows is more than adequate to play that role. I've got no issues with that at all. I'd love him to have him back, and I can't wait until he is back. Reece Small, what's your opinion on the video that surfaced of Eccles last week? Oh, look, he's on holiday. I don't care. As long as it doesn't affect what he's doing on the grass, as long as he's putting the effort in each and every week for us on the grass, what he does on holiday stays in holiday. That's all I'm going to say. Darren, thank you very much for coming on, buddy. Darren, CCFC Shankster. We'll put that on there. Do you agree Eccles should be taken off corners? Yeah, I do. At the moment, I think we're struggling with set pieces. Look, a bugbear of mine for a long, long time has been throw-ins, and not just corners, but throw-ins as well. I don't think we're good enough. I don't think we take advantage of them enough. We just don't know what to do with them, and it's frustrating. But yeah, I do agree that Eccles should be taken off corners. But if nobody else is showing up, if nobody else is showing that quality in training, because again, we don't see the training, we don't see what they do, then it's hard. It's hard. But when Casey comes back, I'm sure Casey will be on it. Even maybe give Sheaf a go doing it. But he's got the height, hasn't he? So we want our bigger players to be in the box. But if we can't get past the first man, then what's the point in having big players in the box? Because it's never getting there anyway. But thank you for your question, buddy. Glenn. Reece Small, I want to know the bar name and location. Okay. Reece Small, I want to know the bar name and the location. I think that's of his of Eccles' stuff that he was doing, I'm presuming anyway. Parman, sorry, right, okay. So Glenn said Palmer and O'Hare he doesn't think that they link very well together. No, I think they could do, to be fair. I think they could do. I think they could work in tandem, one going forward, one holding. I think that would be quite good. So yeah. What video is this? Oh, yeah. Wes, that's about Eccles in a bar when he's on holiday. But again, he's on holiday. I don't care what happens on holiday, to be fair. As long as he's obviously not doing anything that can get him into serious trouble. But look, that's a lad's holiday and he's entitled to it. Sky Blue Sam, any worries that Robbins might be in charge next season? From Sky Blue Sam, no, Robbins will be in charge next season. He'll be. I had with our other member, Danny White. For people know that Danny White, he likes to wind people up, and I was kind of biting earlier on a private chat that we were having before, and he mentioned about maybe Robbins might not be in charge and stuff. And there's only, for me, there's only two ways that Robbins goes. One, he walks on his own accord, and two, he gets us relegated and he doesn't get us up in the first season. That's when Doug King might do something. But that's the only other two reasons. I don't think Robbins is going anywhere for a very long time, and I hope he don't, because he's a great guy, great manager. And yeah, that's all I've got to say on that one. Under average Cov fan, why have we stopped Milan's long throw? I don't think we've necessarily stopped it as such. I think they, if you watch, when they have a long throw, it's normally on the sort of the edge of the area or in line with the edge of the area, and then he might ping one over. If it's before that, I don't think they'll do it. That's just my opinion. They'll try and use it as a different type of corner, if you like. His long throw. That's the only reason. I think Sky Blue Sam. Yeah, Milan. Yeah, he makes a good point actually. Milan on corners. But again, Milan could be a threat, and he's quite. Milan's probably one of the quickest that are there. I'm sure he is now. But yeah, it's Milan can be on corners. I've got no issues with that. But again, if they have a quick breakaway, we've got that issue as well. But I'm sure that there's somebody else that can step up to so Milan can take the corners. That would be quite good. Is it just me, or have we stopped asking Thomas to take long throws? Yeah. Obviously, that's going on too, because we thought that Thomas had the long throw, and he got a few assists, I believe, when he was at Barnsley, I think it was. But he hasn't taken one long throw yet, I don't think. I think it's just Milan that's done it. So it might be a case of Thomas taking it, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Sky Blue Sam, any worry? Oh, sorry, I missed you. Oh, sorry. Okay. Sky Blue Sam, any worries that Robbins might not be in charge next season, or do you think Doug King will back Robbins for the long term? Yeah, he's there for the long term. They're in it together. I think they've both got one path that they both want to lead down, and I think they'll be fine. Not sure if you've been asked this yet, but predictions for tomorrow. If we score first, I think it might open the floodgates, and I will go for a 4-0, 4-1 possibly. If they score first, I'll be happy with a 2-1 or even a 1-1. We've just got to make sure that if we turn up, we can turn anybody over. I've got no doubts, and I've said that before. If we turn up, we will turn them over. And if we score first, then I think their heads will go down, and I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. Wes has come on and said the bar you're in before the games, is it for everyone, as a few people have been refused entry on occasions? I for one was there. Sorry, I was one for there when I was with my son. Wes, yeah, sorry, mate. It's we're obviously down there. You can see scrolling. We're partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar. We're in the sports bar. We have a table designated for us as well. So please, anytime that you're in here, coming over. Look, I've been told before that you needed a season ticket. I know people that have been there and they haven't got a season ticket. So I believe it is for any Cov fan to go in. I think if you get there early enough, I think you can pretty much get in. When the security guards are there and it gets a little bit busy, I think they are a little bit stricter. So I think the earlier that you can get there, the better. But obviously, I understand, especially Monday night, coming after work and stuff, it might be a little bit harder. But Saturdays might be a little bit easier. I don't know. But I believe it is for everybody, mate. Well, home fans at least. Sorry, I've just missed one. Covandi, hi Covandi, I hope you're okay. Tats and De Silva on corners for me. Yeah, that's not a bad shout either. I would like to think that they both can beat the first man, because that's what we need to start doing. But yeah, I'd take them too. Again, as long as we can show a consistency of beating the first man. That's what we need to do. Because you've got to remember, even though we don't want Eccles on corners, and I am with you on that, he did assist from a corner with Latti against Hull. So they're not all bad, So let's get a little bit of perspective. But I would rather have him not on corners as well. So Glenn, pick your Cov team that starts the last game of the season. Wilson in goal. Last game of the season. Wilson in goal. Binks, Kitchen, Latti. Binks, Kitchen, Latti. De Silva, MVE as the wing backs, left and right wing back respectively. Sheaf, Palmer, Tats, Cal, and Sims. I'm going to go with the box midfield that we finished the season on. Sims up front on his own. And again, that's nothing against Godden, because I love Godden as well. I just, I think Sims might start doing something. I've just got a little bit of a feeling. Come back to this video. Please go and like and subscribe as well if you do like the video or anything that we do. There are a few good videos on there. We've done one with mental health. A couple of people doing their story on there as well. So yeah, please go and like and subscribe. Go and share to people if you like what we do. We are on Spotify, Amazon, Anchor as well, and YouTube. I think it is iTunes. Go and listen to us on the podcasts. Be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Glenn said, PWR has mentioned, I'm going to go for a 1-1 or 1-0 Cov. I'd take a 1-0 now, put it that way. Anything to get a win. I'm not bothered. As long as the performance is there, I think we'll be fine. Glenn said, Rotherham have terrible injuries in defence, but their goalkeeper is one of the best in the Championship, though. Worry it could be another one of those games. No, look, it could be. It could be another frustrating game where we struggle to score. We have so many chances. It could be one of them. Let's hope it's not. Let's hope that they take the chances, which I think they will do. If we score first, I think it might open the floodgates, but we'll have to wait and see. Robert Connor, thank you very much for coming on, Robert. I'll put your question up. What's your thoughts on dropping Eccles and Thomas for Kitchen and Latti Baudier? Yeah, I would do that personally. Latti in midfield. Latti can play anywhere. I think that's kind of what's at the moment is hindering him, because he can play very well everywhere. So with a versatile player like that, if somebody does get injured, you can just slot him straight in. Kitchen for Thomas, I get it and I do see it. The only if I'm in the mind, if you like, or trying to get into the mind of Mark Robbins, he likes balance. He likes that right-sided centre half to be on the right-hand side. He doesn't like. I don't think he likes two left-sided or left-footed players especially one playing on the right hand side. I know he's done it in the past on the left hand side when he's played Latti there and when he played Dom Hyam there and other people like that. But he does like balance, so he likes that left footed on the left side, right footed on the right side. So I can't see Thomas coming out anytime soon unless he has an absolute howler or unless Latti comes in for Thomas, which I could see, and then he doesn't drop Eccles. But it's one of them. It's a hard one to call, though, to be fair. But Eccles, look, he's doing okay. He's ticking over. He's not setting the world alight. He has good games. He had bad days, but don't we all, at work and stuff. So we've just got to, again, get behind him. Whereas, again, I've shown our season ticket and still got told no. And it was about 1 o'clock. Yeah, to be fair, 1 o'clock might be a little bit too late. I tell you what I'll do, right? Obviously, I do these every other week. So I won't be doing it after the home game, but I'll try and speak to the manager and get clarification on who's it for and find out why. I can try and do that for you, Wes. So if you come back on in a couple of weeks' time, ask me the question. Or even if you see me out and about, in the anecdote or just out in the street and you recognise my face, please come up to me and ask me a question, and I'll try and find out the answer for you, and I'll try and get back to you. Or message me on X or Instagram or Facebook or wherever, and I'll try and get back to you with an answer. I hope that's okay, buddy. Like I said, I'll try and speak to the manager as well. Lines 361. I think you were late last time, Lines, coming on, weren't you? But thank you very much for coming on this time. Would like to see the midfield take a few more shots on sight. Might create some rebound chances for the strikers. Yeah, again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We need to make sure that we are shooting because, when we have shot in the past, when Eccles shot, I can't remember who we were playing. We were at home. Might have been the Middlesbrough game, the first goal. I think Eccles shot. It took a ricochet or Godden flicked it on for the first goal. I might be wrong with it being Middlesbrough. It might have been another game. But look, it might even be an away game, actually, thinking about it now, because I think I don't know. It might have been Swansea. Anyway, yes, I agree. I think we should be taking more shots because you never know where they end up. Even if it's Birmingham, Carl Milbourne. Thank you very much, mate, Birmingham. But yeah, I just think that we need to shoot more instead of taking that extra pass. We try and try and do the perfect goal, and it doesn't happen. So we need to make sure that we do shoot as much as we can because, again, you never know where they end up. Wes, with players struggling to settle everywhere, assumes it's the lad from abroad. Could it be Kitchen? Hence him not starting. It could be. It could be. Again, everybody settles at their own pace, don't they? And some people don't settle. Look, let's not kid ourselves. Sometimes it might not work out. We've had transfers before. Bright. I can't pronounce his surname. I'm not going to. But Bright. Everybody had high expectations of Bright. And he flattered to deceive. I think he had one good game or a couple of good games, and that was it. We had high expectations of Hissler coming in. He had an injury or, he had a chest issue and, he couldn't kick on and do whatever. So we have expectations, which is great. But, we need to be realistic, especially when they are coming from over abroad. We need to make sure that we are a little bit more realistic and give them just a little bit more time if they're not used to the surroundings. But yeah, Sky Blue Sam, win tomorrow and we could go 8th depending on other results. It's a massive game, really. again, somebody said to me the other day that they think that it's a must-win game. I don't think it's a must-win game. It would be great to win. Look, you draw your away games, you win your home games. You'll be somewhere thereabouts. If you can get the odd away win, it will take you up there. And look, it could be, the Bristol result, if you like, might be the kick up the bum that they need to get going, and then Rotherham's the game that we win, and then we go on a little bit of a run. You go on a run, and you're straight back up there. And we're not a poor side. Like I said, we won't be anywhere near relegation. We'll be somewhere by the end of the season, I'm sure of it, eighth or higher, personally. Thoughts on Ayari? Up and down, hot and cold. He shows flashes. He shows flashes of brilliance. For me, he still needs to work a lot harder. That's the one thing that I feel that is missing. I just want to see him work a little bit harder. Birmingham, Carl Milbourne, thank you very much. Steve Billings, good evening, Steve. I hope you're okay. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for your question. Do you feel we need width and service into the box? Strikers feed off crosses, but we just don't deliver enough quality into the box. Yes, I do. But I think that kind of goes with trying to make that extra pass. We have that extra pass inside midfield instead of whipping it over and crossing it. And that's the same on both sides, not just the right-hand side, it's the left-hand side as well. As well as shooting on sight, we need to make sure that we are getting them crosses over and not taking that extra pass, into Sakamoto to try and feed it into the strikers, which then lay it out to get there's no point. Just have a go or whip that ball in. It would be lovely to see. And I'm sure they can, and I'm sure they will. So time just flies. We've been on for nearly an hour now. The last question that, good evening, Deborah. Thank you very much for coming on. I am just about to finish. If you've got any questions or anything that you want to ask, feel free to come on while I'm finishing up. Under Average Covfran asks, did you ask Doug if he listened to All Things Sky Blue? I didn't know, because I think I know what the answer is. He doesn't have time to listen to us, but I'm sure he might listen to it on his podcast on the way to Brighton training ground. Deborah, again, thank you very much for coming on. If you've got any questions, please feel free and ask. So as I'm wrapping up then, thanks to everyone that's come on and participated in tonight's IMO. Sky Blue Sam, Carl Milbourne, Glenn from Sky Blue Hub, which is part of us at All Things Sky Blue. Glenn, Mark, I think came on, Covandy, Wes, PWR, Josh, Under Average Cov fan, Darren, Reese. Again, thank you very much, everybody that did come on and participated. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Steve said, let's make sure that the ground is full for Insta to pay up Sky Blue City till I die. Definitely. Thank you very much. Just remember where you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. Wes said Josh don't count. Oh, you leave him alone. He does count. He counts a lot and he matters a lot. He said that's guaranteed. Thank you very much. So again, find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe if you like what we do. Deborah said, Sky Blue Army, play up Sky Blues. So thank you very much for listening. We are partnered with the Sports Boat Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena, where on Monday I will be joined by Lewis, who is the founder of the LGBT plus community, the Proud Sky Blues, which is the LGBTQ plus gentlemen and ladies that are all part of that. Please come and see us. It'd be much appreciated. Again, like I said, you can listen to us on Spotify and other places where you get your podcasts from. Thank you very much, and I will end this now.